So if you want to run pain-free, I need you to know how many of those you could do on one leg and how many you can do on the other leg. Because the single leg calf raise has some really good normative data that tells us what runners and active people in general should be able to do by age group, and I'll put the data up on the screen here, by age group for men and for women. And the closer you are to being able to do these numbers, the further you are away from being at risk of calf injuries, calf strains, ongoing calf tightness, even things like Achilles tendinopathy and plantar fasciitis. Now, the thing is, I know so many runners who think they're doing regular strengthening for their calves, perhaps a little bit of stretching, and they're nowhere near able to get to these numbers. So, if you fall short, and do try the test at home, if you fall short, there are some simple exercises you can do to start building strength. Now, we start out, tried and tested, with a double leg calf raise. So down slowly off the edge of a step, full range of motion down, full range of motion up. Up on 1, down on 3, 2, 1. Work through to either 25 or failure, if you find that you're having to sacrifice form because your legs get too tired, whichever comes first. 3 sets through. If that's easy, which hopefully, honestly, hopefully it should be pretty easy, we can then move on to just simply working through 2 legs up, so exactly the same, but then at the top, we'll take 1 foot off, and then down on 1. 2 up, swap over, down on 1. Again, we're down on the same, 3, 2, 1. Up, 3, 2, 1. So, very straightforward. All we're doing then is we're shifting the weight. Once we're up, we're taking the upward phase on both legs. We're shifting the weight onto one and doing that eccentric phase, that lowering phase, with all the body weight on that one side. Feel free to use the wall fingertip touch. It's not a balance exercise. It's all about building strength. Eccentric work like that builds strength really, really well. Now, before we come on to single leg work, those straight leg exercises where the knees aren't fully locked out, but the legs are, for all intents and purposes, straight, they focus on gastroc, the big meaty one of those calf muscles. There's also soleus, deeper and lower, often neglected. Yes, you can do things like your kind of bent knee calf raises, but in honesty, they're really, really awkward exercises. I would rather see you get down into a wall sit, and a fairly low wall sit with down to 90 degrees at the hips, 90 degrees at the knees. And from there, you're going to lift heels off the ground. Okay, we're up on 1, down on 1. Weight comes through the balls of the feet, and we're simply lifting up, dropping down. Again, working through to 25 or failure, whatever comes first, and you'll feel the work in those lower calves, soleus. Really important muscle for us runners, one not to neglect. Now, moving on to our single leg work, the progression through our calf raises. Again, use the wall for support. All I want you to do is just have one leg on, one leg off. You're simply going to work through full range of motion up and down. This is where we're getting far more specific to the exercise. So both the upwards phase and the downwards phase is taking all the weight on the one leg. And I want you to work through 3 sets of getting towards 25 if you can, or failure, whatever comes first. And again, I want you to build and build and build to the point where you're able to get to that 25 without feeling like you're sacrificing form. Sacrificing form, working through a lesser range of motion for me is what I'm calling failure, not falling over and landing in a heap. I'm just talking about, okay, if the quality here is gone, then rest, give them a shake, go again. Then let's move that on to actually doing this without the hand touch. Okay, so you're using balance at the same time. So we're up and down, up and down, and this is the test. Okay, working through full range of motion on that one side, nice and slow and controlled. And hopefully, there we go, that's a bad one, there we go. Hopefully, you can get to a point where you're hitting the numbers. I'll flash up on screen again now, and you'll know that if you can do that, you're less likely to get injured. And if you do find that you're not able to do that, that's a big, big red flag to say, right, before I start ramping up the running, let's actually start building a bit of calf strength work. 3-4 times per week will make a difference. If you're looking for something a little bit more comprehensive in terms of your strength and conditioning and injury prevention work for running, but you don't have the time to dedicate a whole load of time in the gym, then the Bulletproof Runners program is ideal. Go and check out the link down in the description. We're talking 15, 20-minute workouts 2 to 3 times per week. There's a 7-day free trial and 30-day money-back guarantee. All I want you to do is just try a couple of those first workouts and you'll feel what a difference this is going to make. So check out that link down in the description. Now, if you do have a history of calf injuries, no matter what you're doing, you're feeling that this kind of frustrating risk is still there and it keeps rearing its head, check out the video linked on screen right now, because this may well explain why certain elements of your running form might be letting you down and causing the problem in the first place. It's not just about strength.